Hello, Star Wars and Unboxing fans. Welcome to another spooky episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Check out all my videos on YouTube. Subscribe to my page. Subscribe to my Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Darth Tuba. I just spread the word about my unboxing channel. And also leave comments below. I've been starting to get a few more of them, and I love answering them and having nice discussion about all sorts of different Star Wars related topics. So, you don't see an unboxing here today. No, we're going to go a little something different. And by the way, when I say different, I mean different. This is something I have never done before. We are going to try our hand at a pumpkin carving project, okay? And of course, this being a Star Wars related podcast, it has to be Star Wars themed. So, I will warn you, okay, while I don't consider myself the least artistic person in the world, I am definitely more at the bottom. The needle goes more to the back end than it does to the front end when it comes to that, my skill level with this. So I'm going to be doing something very basic. And this is not a real pumpkin. This is actually a foam pumpkin purchased at a craft store. And I want to try doing a carving stencil for a foam pumpkin. And part of the reason for that is very simple. So that once I carve it, and if hopefully it's done well, or even just okay, I can keep it for future years rather than watch it rot and die and have to do it again. So we have a pumpkin, like I said, from a craft store. We have a stencil that I actually got off of StarWars.com. It's a nice little Darth Vader stencil. I wanted something fairly simple. I didn't want to do something crazy. I mean, there's some beautiful stencils out there and beautiful projects that you can do if you really want to try. But I figured for this time around I would do one, what I think is simple. It looks like it's basically just a couple of shapes and a lot of little shapes, but again, it'll take some time to do, so we'll see what happens. So I'll put this on high speed. A couple of other things you need. One is a light up base, instead of a candle, because these pumpkins are actually possibly, they can be flammable, so you want to be careful not to do anything with that. So this one will require some type of battery, and it's I think it's a strobe light. Any kind of light will do. If you have even tap lights, okay, or even display lights, any of those will do. I actually have a couple of AA batteries while I'm sitting here talking. I'm going to get those put in so I have it ready to go. And obviously, when it comes to pumpkin carving, you need to decide how you want to do this. You don't have to necessarily carve out the pumpkin from the top. There's nothing to carve out. You just have to put an opening in, and you don't even have to have an opening if you want. If your piece has a big enough size on the inside of it, you can drop something in from there. You don't even have to do it. This one, all right. So it does have a little strobe light effect. Okay. So this one, I think I'm going to kind of just measure it out and do a base for it, and then it'll just rest on the base. Okay. So that'll be my plan for that. And of course, for the stencil, as I said, I got it off of StarWars.com. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape this to the front of the pumpkin, and I'm going to take a small, using a tool like this, like one of these really tiny pieces like this, I'm going to just use this to kind of poke and just create a connect the dot kind of thing. All right. And you'll notice this box here, this is actually for this. It's a box to hold this, which is essentially think of it like an X-Acto knife, but it's a hot knife. And the reason I said this is because I've been watching my own YouTube videos trying to figure out the best way that one could do this. And what I have discovered is that there are basically two ways you can go about this. The first way is to use this hot knife, which works really well on the foam pumpkins because it melts the foam, cuts through. The only thing I'm not sure about is how well it's going to be able to do turns and things of that nature. The other method you can use is a Dremel tool, and you can use a Dremel tool with a carving thing on it, or a bore on it, and then you can kind of go through with that. But what I noticed about that was that it gets everywhere. There's foam pieces all over the place, like dust particles. You have to wear goggles. You have to wear a mask. Yep, it gets everywhere like sand, So we don't know. I've never done anything like that before. I don't really have the facility to do that. So I thought I would try this first, and then if this doesn't work, I'm going to try the Dremel tool. I will do that maybe outside. You know, we've had pretty good weather, so we'll try it. So I'm going to put this on a high-speed video, okay, and just kind of go through this. And then if it works, great. If it fails miserably, perhaps I will do a follow-up, or maybe no one will ever see this video. So we'll see what happens. All right, so let's get started. Okay, well, I have to say that if I were to grade myself on my first attempt at something like this, I'd probably give it a solid B, maybe even a B plus. Not quite A work, but definitely something like that. Now, it's hard to kind of make out here, okay? I'm going to try to bring it a little bit closer, okay? And I will want to point out a couple of things I did a little differently, okay? If you look at the stencil, next to the grill on Vader's breathing apparatus, there are these kind of shapes that are going up, kind of, these like two diagonal on each side and two almost kind of straight across left and right. I opted not to do them. There's also two little circles kind of next to the grill. I opted not to do them, and the reason I did was because I felt that the foam was starting to get very flimsy, and I just was pushing my luck. I said if I try to do that, if I try to push some more in there, I'm going to really be pushing my luck, and something's going to happen. You'll also notice a little tiny cut here. I almost thought I had to make like a correction, but then about 2 inches in, I realized I didn't. But it's there. But that's okay. We're just going to call it artistic license. Okay, so this is a Versa tool. You can get it at any hobby store, like a Michael's or a place like that, for the people that live near where there's a Michael's. I like it. It's pretty good. Be very careful with it. It is extremely hot. If it touches your skin, anything above this plastic piece here, it will burn very, very, very much. All right, so be very careful with it. Now, in terms of the accuracy of it, I think I think my work speaks for itself. Anything that's kind of basic like this, if you're going to do like basic shapes, some of the ones that came off of StarWars.com, the stencils, I would think pretty much all of those stencils are pretty good. I think that you'll be able to do them. If you want to get into real clever, more advanced level stenciling and things of that nature, or pumpkin carving, you're definitely going to want to go to the way of the Dremel. There might be other tools like this. I will say that it was very slow. It was like cutting through butter, but like really hard butter. Imagine like butter that you had in the freezer, then you took a really hot knife and started just plunging into it. There would be a little bit of friction, there'd be a little bit of resistance, but with just a little bit of energy, you'd get it going all the way through. And that's kind of how it feels with this. But don't let it sit. If you let it sit in there, you end up with a situation where it starts to smoke and burn. Also, don't let this touch any other items that are flammable, like paper or things of that nature, because it will catch fire. So overall, pretty happy with it. I do have the little strobe here. I'll kind of set this up in light, and then I'll do it again in the dark. Oh, that's pretty cool. And it can do anything. You can put anything in here. You can put glow sticks. You can put I definitely say do not put candles. I mean, tea lights, the battery powered tea lights, those would work. Okay, anything of that nature. But overall, pretty happy with it, and I'm looking forward to maybe doing even another one. I don't know if I'll get another one done by Halloween. Maybe I'll wait on those until next year. But I kind of printed out all the stencils out of StarWars.com, and you can find them there. And if you look on YouTube, Pinterest, you'll find all sorts of different stencils, of all different levels. So it's a little different. It wasn't really an unboxing, and for the people that enjoy the unboxing, have no fear. I will definitely be doing a lot of unboxings. I got a bunch of things on the plan coming that I'm going to be doing special things with over the next couple of weeks, months, and into the next year. So, but right now, because of the Halloween holiday, I wanted to kind of indulge in this a little bit. Another nice thing is that because of the way I measured it, this thing on the bottom is like perfect as a stand. So it doesn't even rest on there. So you can put it anywhere and it stays. So if you measure it just the right way, you can do that. Okay, so that'll do it for Darth Tuba's pumpkin carving, I guess, this time. We'll get back to the unboxings at the next episode. But until then, thank you very much. Check out all my other videos. Check out all my other places to find me. Darth Tuba on Twitter and Instagram. The Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing page. You can also email me, darthtuba77@gmail.com. And again, leave comments, ask questions. Let me know your thoughts. There are things I could do differently, things I could do more of. Be warned, this is not my full-time job. I'm not aiming to be a YouTube star, not by any means. I'm simply doing it because I enjoy kind of sharing my love of the wars with everybody that's interested. So thank you so much. Happy Halloween, and may the Force be with you.